Oklahoma. If you would like to join the conversation, you can call or text 865-656-9900. Jason Swain is here, a VFL and former Tennessee wide receiver. I'm Josh Ward. We are presented by Junk Beyond every day. Swain, good afternoon. How are you?
What's up, man? It's game day.
It is game day.
Again.
Yeah, you get multiple game days a week, which is not a bad thing.
Correct. It was game day yesterday. It's game day today. It's going to be game day over the weekend. It's another opportunity, man, for Tennessee Athletics to make their mark.
So how you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling good about playing against Oklahoma.
Okay. Ken Palm has the Vols by 11 tonight. Ron Slay yesterday during the sleigh ride said good chance for Tennessee to get a double-digit win here. Now, J.P. Estrella is doubtful. That doesn't help Tennessee going into this game. The only player on the availability report, besides Katie Phillips, who we know is lost for the season. So that's something to monitor J.P. Estrella's status with his doubtful designation last night.
Yeah, that stinks. But when you have the depth that Tennessee has in the front court, you should be able to go out there and beat a team in Oklahoma that's at the bottom of the league, and one of the teams that's at the bottom of the league. So last time I checked, there's only one team that has Nate Ament, baby. Which team is that, Josh Ward?
That would be the Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee Vols. The Tennessee Vols. We have Nate Ament. So we have the advantage. Go out there and get the win. This could be a good thing for Jalen Carey. That this is a week that he probably needs to step it up a little bit. You can't just wait to the Vanderbilt game to step it up. How about you step it up tonight and in the Vanderbilt game and then moving forward? I think this highlights Carey and others to have to step forward in JP's absence if he is unable to go.
So Tennessee tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN2. We'll have the Vol Network broadcast for you. Richard Hendricks will be back on the call with ESPN2 for tonight's game on ESPN2. And then Chris Lofton with the Vol Network broadcast alongside Mike Keith.
Yeah, I don't know how I want to welcome Richard Hendricks to Knoxville. I don't know.
Yeah, these broadcasts tonight, Chris Lofton, your friend, and then Richard Hendricks, the one that you failed to help get to Tennessee back in the day.
Yeah, I wasn't really involved in basketball recruiting during that time, but
I'm guessing you had little to do with what his ultimate decision was. But yeah, Richard Hendricks is on record. Once upon a time, he looked up to you as the first 7th grade two-hand dunker he had seen.
Yeah, well, you never know who's watching.
That was way back in the day. So 7 o'clock, Tennessee against Oklahoma.
I don't know how I want to welcome Richard Hendricks, being he's a Bammer entering my territory. Should we give him a warm welcome, or should we give him a little bit of a hard time since he's a Bammer? I don't know, but he's doing a great job. I'm proud of him. I think people are going to be in for a treat today. Get a chance to listen to his call. And he's a straight shooter. I've seen him call Alabama games this year, and he's done a really good job. So that's what Tennessee fans can expect tonight. I was watching Vanderbilt girls versus Texas, and Shane Foster was on the call, former Vanderbilt player, who was part of, I want to say, beating us when we were number 1 after we beat Memphis. And you can tell Mr. Foster went to Vanderbilt. You can tell he was excited every time Michaela Blakes made big plays in that game, or anybody from Vanderbilt made big plays in the game. And that's hard not to do. I get it. But Richard Hendricks does an exceptional job. You can't tell what school he went to. So looking forward to hearing what he has to say tonight about Tennessee Volunteers, the front court. He is a former post player, so of course he's going to give you a perspective that's unlike many folks who are sitting in that chair who play guard. He's kind of like Slay. He's going to give you the inside into the boom room a little bit.
So should be a good one to pay attention to. Good opportunity for Tennessee to get another win. And a little opportunity was created. Kentucky last night lost at home against Georgia. I don't think the Wildcat fans are too thrilled once again with that loss.
Man, that was a great
They had a
game.
little bit of momentum, then
Was,
lost to Georgia. Georgia's first win in Rupp in 17 years. So Kentucky drops to 8-5 in conference. Tennessee is 8-4, looking to get to 9-4 tonight.
yeah, Blue Kane was balling, man.
Yeah,
He was
20
stroking,
points.
yeah, he was stroking it from the outside. Georgia, their guards were hitting big time shots. Sorrell was a force down low. Cannon Catchings was doing his thing, and I mean, one thing was constant in that basketball game was old boy from Kentucky was making clutch shots like he did against Tennessee. But Kentucky just didn't have the juice, man. They didn't have the juice at all. They only have the juice when they play Tennessee, it seems like. Because every time I see them play against other teams, they just don't have it. Like, I've watched them play against Florida. I've watched them play against Georgia. I've watched them play against other teams. Boy, but against Tennessee, they look like the 96 Kentucky Wildcats.
Are you saying Tennessee's their Super Bowl?
Well, one could say that. They did wear the special denim uniforms against us up there at Rupp Arena, right?
One could say. We'll see what Kentucky fans say, but Kentucky lost last night. Florida handled South Carolina at home as expected. Texas beat LSU at home. Close one there, 88-85. Tonight, Vandy against Missouri. So mentioned Tennessee's opportunity. The Vols right now are tied with Vandy and Alabama with an 8-4 record. Alabama will host Arkansas. Vanderbilt will play at Missouri, and then Tennessee will go to play Vanderbilt this upcoming weekend. So chance to try to make a move forward in a positive direction in the SEC standings with 6 games to go in the regular season. So we'll talk more basketball with Tennessee getting ready for Oklahoma. Home game for Tennessee tonight before a road trip to Nashville to take on Vanderbilt on Saturday. Swain will continue to monitor and discuss, but at this point there's just the waiting game with Joey Aguilar after he had his hearing on Friday, and we are waiting on a decision from Judge Chris Haggerty in the case.
Who do we play this weekend, Josh Ward?
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Oh.
That's their name, right?
I thought we played a different team. I thought we played against Vanderbilt this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a waiting game for Joey Aguilar to see what's going to happen with him. Wisely, he is preparing for life if this court ruling does not go into his favor. There's a combine that's taking place that he's going to participate in, and that's what he should be doing. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, and, man, that experience up there is experience that only can help you. It doesn't matter if you go to the NFL or not. Like, that's a very thorough process that should allow you to leave that place understanding that all the details matter. Like, you were told all the details matter by your coach, but that process will confirm that everyone's watching or someone's watching all the time, and there's no cutting corners, and everything matters. The small stuff that you think that don't matter, it matters because it's going to be brought up at the NFL Combine.
Chris Lowe wrote last night at On3 that Aguilar had already received a combine invitation, according to sources, but it was not made public as he is undergoing the process of trying to return to Tennessee. So he will go to the combine on a shorter window. He will be there for a 48-hour window next week instead of the normal five-day window, so he does not jeopardize his eligibility, according to sources. Even if Aguilar receives a favorable ruling from Haggerty this week, Aguilar still plans to attend the combine for only 2 days in case the ruling is overturned on appeal.
Okay.
So another funny aspect, again, this makes sense that Aguilar is doing this, but it's another example of how odd the times are that a quarterback who may or may not play for Tennessee this fall is planning to go to the combine, whether he does or does not get a favorable ruling in court in an attempt to play this fall, because he could still potentially lose on appeal, so he has to plan accordingly.
I need some Advil. Remember the DC Goody Powder? I
Oh
need
yeah.
I need some of that, man. I need some of that. My head hurts already.
Yep.
It's something else, man. But hey, it's where we are. It's a price to pay if you wanna win, right? And Tennessee is willing to pay that price, going through this process and being the center of the conversation. College football, college sports.
Also, I don't know if this is a legal question or if this is more of a question of courtesy, but so on Friday, according to the chancellor, he said that he would issue a ruling in quote short order. What defines short order? Does there need to be a time as society? Do we need to decide what is a short order? Because we're past 4 days now, right?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything less than a couple days. I mean, I think an answer in a week and a half is still considered short order. At least I would.
Oh, is
Consider.
it? Okay.
What were you expecting? You expecting Trinidad Chambliss type of?
Well, I didn't expect an emotional reading later that evening, but I don't know, within 100 hours, maybe, which could happen, but that has to happen today. So I don't know. I'm asking more than saying. I don't know. What's the cutoff for short order? Would love to know what side society says.
I would say 10 to 15 days.
And of course, a legal stance might be different than if my wife says, "Hey, we need to get the trash out," and I say, "Okay, I'll do that in short order," and then 4 days pass by, that's probably not going to cut it. So the circumstance, of course, has to affect how a short order will be received. What Judge Haggerty is trying to figure out is a little bit more important than whether I empty the dishwasher or take the trash out.
Well, I mean, what's the definition of out? Are we talking like out of the kitchen, out of the house, out of the backyard, out of the garage, into the garbage bin that gets collected? And when is the collection day? I mean, I think all these things matter.
Sure, that's important too.
Yeah.
I know if my kids say, "Hey, Dad, can we have pancakes for breakfast?" and I say, "I'll have a stack ready in short order."
Well, that means the same day.
They're going to want something in a matter of minutes. Yeah,
correct.
Sure.
So it's different.
Yep. So we will invite your calls and texts, and we will open those up in short order here on Josh and Swain. 865-656-9900 in show terms. That's very quickly. We will discuss Joey Aguilar. We'll talk college sports. We'll talk college basketball. There's a lot going on. Mick Cronin, Swain, he's done it again. He's ornery. He's upset. We have another fantastic moment in college basketball. He ejected his own player last night.
He hates his team. I told you. He hates his team. He can't stand his own players. Even the good ones he hates. The ones that do no wrong, he hates them too. The ones that do wrong, hates them. The ones who make shots for him and make a lot of points, hates them. Bench warmers, hates them. Scholarship players, hates them. Walk-ons, hates them. He hates his team, Josh Ward.
He hates him. Hates him. and I'm loving watching it unfold. Rocky points out court was not in session on Monday because of a federal holiday. We repeated that over and over on Monday, but Monday was 2 days ago. This is Wednesday. We'll continue the show, 865-656-9900. To be part of it, Jason Swain's here. I'm Josh Ward. This is Josh and Swain.
Josh wanted to answer.
This is Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us. Shannon says, breaking news from Josh and Swain. Joey Aguilar may or may not return next year. Can confirm.
That is a fact.
Another text says, dang, Josh, I guess the judge is supposed to work all weekend and the holiday. So from the end of the hearing, he has had one working day, and that does not mean that Joey's case is all he's working on. Seriously, anything under 7 working days in the court system is pretty quick turnaround. First of all, I was just joking around. I would expect that he's spending some time during the weekend and President's Day. It's not Christmas, so I would like to think that he's spending some time working on it. But I was just joking around with the short order description as Tennessee fans continue to wait.
Josh Ward wants his answer, and he wants it now.
Yeah, I love that. I don't want to pick any other profession, but yeah, it's okay if he spends a little bit of time during. I work some during the weekend. It's okay if you work on a President's Day holiday. You know who worked on Monday? Josh and Swain.
That's damn right, man. Because people need to hear their sports conversation.
You got to get the takes.
Yeah, we brought it to you. So
Corey notes that short order cooks are pretty fast.
Hey, the season doesn't start until the end of July, beginning of August, and Joey Aguilar still has to heal. So we got time, Judge. Take your time.
Yep. It's all good. I said yesterday, and I meant it, and I'll repeat it. I don't envy the position that Judge Haggerty's in making a ruling here. I don't envy him at all.
It's not an easy decision to make because let's be honest here. If he rules in Joey's favor, he's going to be labeled as a homer.
Right.
That just did it because he's a Tennessee fan. If he doesn't rule in his favor, then he's going to be labeled as a traitor. But, it's probably the right decision to make. If he rules in his favor, he'll be labeled as, a homer, but how will the people in his profession view him? I mean, because being respected is more important than being liked. And he went to school for a very, very long time, takes pride in his job and his profession. And, again, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. It will be a slam dunk if it was the right move legally and good for Joey Aguilar so that way he can finish his career and everybody wins. I mean, but I don't know if there's going to be a case where it's a win-win for both parties where, all right, professionally he's going to be respected, it's going to be the right move, and as a Tennessee fan, he's going to see his quarterback, his team, program that he roots for, be able to play a player that may help his team win more. It may work out that way, but again, this is not easy for him. This is difficult for him. And I think he's being pulled different directions. I hope that at the end of the day, the best scenario can play out for all parties involved, except the NCAA. I don't care about them. But I just hope that everyone is able to walk away and feel good about themselves, feel good about their decision, and move forward without any regret.
And then there is this, Swain. Speaking of eligibility, I would like to think this is an easy no, but I don't know if you remember the name Khalil Whitney. He played one season of college basketball at Kentucky in the 2019-2020 season. So that was 6 years ago. Well, he tweeted out, I believe earlier today, recruitment officially open. With NCAA rules continuing to evolve, I'm exploring all options, looking for the right program ready to take on the reinstatement process. Let's work. Whitney has played both in the G League and overseas. He's played in leagues in Mexico, the Dominican Republic. Most recently, he's played in the National Basketball League, popular league in Australia and New Zealand. And 6 years after leaving Kentucky following his freshman season, he went undrafted. It appears he is considering at least seeking reinstatement to college athletics. His recruitment is officially open.
What was his tweet?
He tweeted, recruitment officially open. With NCAA rules continuing to evolve, I'm exploring all options, looking for the right program ready to take on the reinstatement process. Let's work. He also finished with the 100 emoji.
Oh, he want to work, huh? Okay, cool. I got this link I'm sending to him right now. ZipRecruiter.com. Indeed.com. I got you. You want to work?
A lot of jobs out there.
There's a lot of jobs open for you, my man. But you left Kentucky while you were there. There's no coming back. Did you not learn anything from Bediako? It's over. Go get a job, man. Go get a job.
He has played for the Greensboro Swarm, Rio Grande Valley Vipers, Newfoundland Growlers, again back with the Valley Vipers, Indio de San Francisco, Braceros de Arapato, Windy City Bulls, KK Srevo, Manawatu Jets, Breles de Guasave, and the Suke Lions. And now is considering a return to college.
What'd you just say, Josh? What? What is going on, man?
That is the career history for former Kentucky Wildcat Khalil Whitney, who turned 25 last month, who tweeted out that his recruitment is open and he is seeking reinstatement to college sports.
Did he not watch the Bediako case? I'm confused here, Josh. When you Google his name,
yeah,
there is a photo of him wearing a Charlotte Hornets NBA jersey with the NBA logo in the background. He has an ESPN NBA profile. What are we talking about here? I don't know what you was talking about. I think you was talking in Spanish over there. I don't know what you said, but like, he's 25 years old.
Yep.
He left Kentucky. It's over. This is silly. Now, he did play for the Windy City Bulls, so he can't be that good.
You know that argument we make about, well, guys that have been overseas playing with some pro leagues or pro clubs, like, well, the level of competition, being a part of the Windy City Bulls, that would probably work in his favor.
He couldn't play for the Bulls, had to play for the Windy City Bulls? Oh, yeah, well, I don't think there's any college coach that should be threatened too much by this gentleman coming to college.
You want a wake-up call. Right there it is. 865-656-9900. It's difficult to tell the difference between the Windy City and the Chicago Bulls sometimes. So there is your latest absurdity. Khalil Whitney, who left Kentucky in 2020, is looking to return. And as he said, his recruitment is, quote, officially open. 865-656-9900. We'll keep the phone line, the text box open for you as we're with you until 3 o'clock. We'll talk more Tennessee, Joey Aguilar, college sports, Tennessee versus Oklahoma games that are going on. The Vols will host Oklahoma at 7 o'clock tonight at the Food City Center. We're presented by Junk Be Gone. We thank you for being with us as we continue on Josh. This is Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us. Presented by Junk Beyond. Swain was looking for some work for Khalil Whitney, who left Kentucky in 2020, played one season of basketball for John Calipari. He tweeted out earlier that his recruitment is open. He's seeking reinstatement after playing professionally in the G League and overseas for the last 6 years, roughly. Andrew said, I'll tell you a job that's open, the dang no-man job, because apparently it's super vacant. Everybody needs one. Nobody's hiring.
Well, the UCLA men's basketball job might be open.
Yeah, that might be open. The AD there might be saying, hey, Mick, say what you need to say. They might be trying to get one of those for-cause firings going here soon.
Dude, Mick Cronin ejected his own player. They were down 20-plus points. Michigan State had a breakaway dunk. One of his players is hustling from behind, playing hard, makes a play on the ball. Hits the ball. Because the guy's tall, he landed weird and awkwardly. The guy gets up and, he's, what they do. They get up, act like they're going to do something. They don't do anything. But Mick Cronin tells his player to go to the locker room. How embarrassing is that? You don't do your own player that way. You have to at least know your player. And that wasn't even a dirty play. And then
here's what's amazing to me about that. Cronin, when he was asked about that after the game on the play, he said, if you want to be a tough guy, you need to do it during the game for a block out, for a rebound. I was thoroughly disappointed. The guy was defenseless in the air. I know Steve was trying to block the shot, but the game's a 25-point game. You don't do that. So he's
quit.
He admits the player's trying to block the shot. So he's trying to make a play on the basketball, and he's saying you shouldn't do that.
So you want them to quit. You want them to give up.
Let him have it.
Let him have it and make it a 27-point game. You don't want them to play with pride. So you've been complaining about them not playing hard, not playing tough, not playing with pride all season long. In a loss, you get that, and you complaining about it? Yo, get this dude out of here, man. If you're a UCLA alum, you want him gone tomorrow. You want him gone yesterday. This is clown behavior. That makes
There's no joke sense. After the game. I guess he upgraded that to a flagrant too, huh? Referring to Mick Cronin on his own player. And then there was this exchange post-game. You knew that something was going to happen in the post-game media gathering after Cronin has ejected his own player. So Cronin's been on a post-game heater, complaining, griping, all that. And then there was this exchange last night with the reporter.
What was your thoughts in the student section chanting Booker's name?
I could give a rat's about the other team's student section.
I just meant overall the way that you.
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
All right.
Did you like
You should take it.
the preparation of the?
Do you really think I care about the other team?
I don't think you care about the other.
Are you raising your voice at me?
Oh,
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Come on, dude.
No reason.
Come on. Yes, you are. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody. This is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section. I coach UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students. I mean, who cares?
It appears Mick Cronin cares, but so that was Mick Cronin yesterday after the game.
He needs a Snickers, or he needs a break from coaching, because he sounds over it. I didn't think the question was out of bounds. I mean, it was a little silly to ask him what he thought about the opposing team's student section.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on. I saw Seth Davis say, I've asked much worse questions to Mick Cronin. So,
I mean, you got beat by 20-plus points. So we pretty much know what happened in the game. We're trying to ask you some different stuff to see what, how you're going to answer it. But he didn't have to be rude. He didn't have to be disrespectful.
And then go at the reporter, accuse him of raising his voice when Cronin's being the jerk in the situation.
He needs a break from basketball, coaching basketball. Man, this is what it sounds like. He needs to go be, an assistant on someone else's staff, or get the buyout money and go, hang out with Jim McElwain. Do what he did when he got, huh? What'd you say?
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted.
Well, I mean, he just need to go do what fire coaches do, man. Go hang out with John Gruden, I guess. I don't know, but he sounds over it. He really does.
Yeah. I don't want to be hypocritical, because while I am being critical of Cronin here, I don't necessarily want it to end. I'm entertained by
Josh,
the season.
You want to see another player wrongfully treated and sent to the bench when all he was doing was playing hard for your entertainment? That's what you want?
Well, kind of, but I'm more speaking to the press conferences. I've enjoyed those thoroughly. I don't want to see him be rude to somebody, but the reporter will be fine. So I'm enjoying. I don't know what's coming from Mick Cronin. That would be more the point. You can't. He's not just your typical ranter. He will rant, but he'll also pull out some wild cards as he did last night. So I'm entertained.
It's one thing to hate the current landscape of college sports, which all the coaches do, and most of them do a good job of, not letting it be known. I mean, what point does it make? What good does it do you to constantly complain about it? Like, you should spend your energy trying to evolve and adapt and try to win games. So you have that. And then you also have the fact that he just doesn't like the players on his team. But here's the thing, Josh. I think you're going to hear something else real soon. Because this Saturday, they play top 10 Illinois at home. At home, though. And then February the 24th, they play Gilbert Arenas' son at home, a USC-UCLA matchup. And then they'll play Minnesota, and then top 10 Nebraska at home. And then they'll play USC again. So we are in store for at least 4 more rants. At least 4 more.
Yeah, it was a tough trip to the state of Michigan. On Saturday, they lost to Michigan by 30, and then last night lost 82-59 to Michigan State. But a place like home, that's where UCLA will be taking on top 10 Illinois coming up this weekend. We'll come back, 865-656-9900, if you would like to be part of the show. As Andrew notes, UCLA has more justification to fire Cronin than Kansas State did with Jerome Tang.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
We'll continue to monitor what happens with that Kansas State case after they fired their coach for cause for embarrassing the program, as they stated after his press conference last week, where he called out the players and had them wear jerseys without their names on the back after he was so upset with them. We'll continue the conversation and invite you to be a part of it. Thanks for the interaction. We'll open up the phone lines as well, 865-656-9900 to join us on Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us on Josh and Swain, presented by Junk Be Gone, online at junkbegone.biz. With Jason Swain, a VFL and former Tennessee wide receiver, I'm Josh Ward. 865-656-9900 to join the show as we say hello to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good afternoon. Thanks for hanging on with us. What's on your mind today?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, I got a couple, one question and another comment. First of all, I guess the comment would be this. I watched that hearing, and the judge said that he was a season ticket holder and he comes to every game. Ask a comment to you guys, and I'd like to get your input little when I get off the line. But touchdown turnover, how many times will he be shown or so seeked out? Either way it goes, whatever he says, whatever the verdict comes, because I see it and you see it. My other question or comment, I guess you'd say, I seen this on the hearing, and the Joey's attorney said that even if Joey returned, he would not be the oldest player, which would be our punter, which we are punter U. We have so many punters that's been All-Americans in Tennessee history, which I'm tickled we got our punter. But how many of Australian punters, I see one in every team got one, has knocked some high school player out of being a scholarship or having a starting position on the team, and that is third of the team or third of the game. Yeah, guys, I hope you got my point and what I said, and I'm looking forward to hearing your answers and comments. God bless you. Talk to you later.
Okay, Turkey Man, appreciate it. Referring to Jackson Ross, Tennessee's punter.
Yeah, he's no spring chicken. When you compare him to other players that come in.
Yeah, he played Australian rules football, and his background coming from Australia, was born in Melbourne, has been well documented. How many Australian punters are there in college football or kickers? I don't have the slightest idea.
Yeah, all I know is he has seen other punters from Australia be able to carve out a pretty awesome opportunity for themselves punting. Our punter with the Chicago Bears is someone that he knows personally. I remember talking to him about that, and it's funny because that's who he got his advice from on coming over here to the United States and finding a college to go to and punting. So, yeah, like I remember we played against Iowa in the bowl game, and Tory Taylor was booming them in warm-ups. And I was like, oh, my gosh, it was like 50, 60 yards with ease. And he was telling me that Tory Taylor, his family kind of helped him and gave him advice on coming over here to punt. So, yeah, I mean, he's 26 years old, Jackson Ross, and we've seen a lot of punters come from overseas to punt and collegiately.
Yeah, and by the way, Turkey Man mentioned his point. I guess the point is that you have other older players. Yeah, there's no age limit in college sports. Maybe there will be in the future. I don't know. And we've seen older players. The NCAA, in the case this past weekend against Joey, on Joey's side, they pointed out, well, remember Chris Winkie? He was older than Joey is when he beat out Josh Heupel for the Heisman Trophy. An obvious difference is, well, Chris Winkie was playing baseball. He wasn't developing as a football player that entire time. That's part of the issue. That's the biggest part of my issue in this junior college ruling, is that junior college can be used as a training ground to work on football. It's been brought up, what about guys that are on missions? Well, that hinders their football development. They're away from the sport. They're not training and working out and practicing as junior college athletes are. To me, that's the obvious difference. Kelly Washington was a baseball player who, when he finished, came to play at Tennessee and excelled, and then had a nice career in the NFL. But that to me would be, I think, the obvious difference when you compare this junior college conversation versus others that are older, is that if you're in junior college playing football, you are playing football and you're developing to try to get ready, to try to improve as you also get older at the same time. By the way, I brought up, hey, what if you see some colleges decide we'll stash guys? Cole Kublik, I saw him make that point. Say, what's to stop a college if junior college years don't count? Pay a guy to go to junior college. Would they or not? I don't know. But the idea that they could, to me, would be absurd.
You felt good about yourself when you heard Cole Cuba say it, didn't you?
Really good. I only brought it up to really be an unofficial pat on the back.
I bet your eyes lit up when you saw Cole's comments. You're like, oh, yeah, baby.
I share an opinion with Cole Kublik. Now, if he finds out, he might completely change his mind and have a different thought, which I would understand.
Man.
Wait, whoa, Josh Ward thought that? Might need to go to the other side. We'll come back. We head to hour number 2. We have 2 hours to go. 865-656-9900 to join us. Turkey Man, thanks for the call. Thanks for the text. We'll continue to invite them right here on Josh and Swain. This is Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us as we begin hour number 2 of today's show. 865-656-9900 to be part of it. Hope you're having a great day so far. Jason Swain is here, VFL and former Tennessee wide receiver. I'm Josh Ward. Swain, we are 6 hours away from Tennessee taking on Oklahoma at the Food City Center. So John Rothstein of CBS Sports, he loves college basketball, does a great job covering it, host of Inside College Basketball Now, posting Nate Ament's numbers over the last 7 games, 23.6 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, and as Rothstein wrote, playing like an All-American as the Vols will go for their 8th win in their last 9 games tonight against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. There's so many really good players right now in college basketball, especially freshmen. I hope Nate Ament is considered a All-American when it's all said and done. But I know for him, it's about helping his team win more than individual, accolades. And he's playing his best ball right now. Not only is he putting the ball in the basket, but he's seeing the court, being able to make the extra pass defensively. He's a presence around the rim, altering shots, blocking shots, and then rebounding as well too. So that's why, even though with J.P. Estrella being doubtful today against Oklahoma, I still feel good about the other post players having a chance to step up, and then Gillespie and Ament leading the charge with Bishop Boswell and others trying to take up the slack. So it's a good opportunity for Carey. It's a good opportunity for Parr and Dwayne Brown. So, but yeah, man, it's cool to see the national media guys giving Nate Ament the flowers that he deserved, because it's easy to sit there and talk about what he didn't do a couple months ago, and oh man, he's not living up to potential. Well, he's not only living up to potential, I think he's exceeding it a little bit right now.
Very slight correction, by the way. They're going for their 7th win in 8 games, but they would be 8-2 in their last 10 games with the win tonight. The 2 losses would both be against Kentucky. In that case, I saw Ben McKee post a story at GoVols247.com from the latest projections at ESPN with the NBA draft, and lottery potential is very much there. Top 10 potential is still very strong, probably in that 5 to 10 range, maybe 6 to 10 range for Nate with the NBA draft. And we've discussed a few times over the last few weeks that if Nate's a top 10 pick, he'd be the 4th top 10 pick in basketball history from the University of Tennessee, which says a lot. So a good chance. I think right now I would bet pretty strongly on him being a top 10 pick, and his stock has continued to rise during this run that he's been on in SEC play.
I just enjoy watching him play, man. I enjoy watching him dissect the game, because you can tell that it's slowed down for him. You can just see it. And he doesn't get sped up. He doesn't get rushed. You try to double him, he'll throw it over you because he can see. He has that length, he has the height, and so it's just a joy to watch good players hit a different level when they are wearing orange. I get a kick out of it. I enjoy it.
Hey, Turkey Man followed up from his call in the text box and said every Tennessee game the judge will be mentioned. There's the judge that either allowed or disallowed a record-setting quarterback to play or not to play. The judge is in a really bad situation. It is not fair. Would not want to be him. Yeah, I've said again last hour, I do not envy Chris Haggerty in the position that he's in.
I mean, it's fair.
What's that?
I mean, it's fair. It's the job that he wanted to have, and being in that job, you're gonna have to make tough decisions. That's part of being a judge. So I think it's fair.
Yeah, fair, not fair. That's probably not the right description. It's odd. I'm guessing when he's done everything that he has in his career, he didn't expect it to be in this position, having to make this kind of decision to either help out or not help out a quarterback at the school that he roots for. Well, but I don't know that it's unfair.
Well, I'm sure he had some tough decisions where he had to rule against the people that he knew, something like that. But this is different because all the eyeballs are on you. You are in a fishbowl, and the decision that you're going to make, not only is it difficult, which hey, you sign up to make difficult decisions, is that it's a fishbowl decision. It's like being the judge in the OJ trial, but this is college sports, and everything hinges on the fact that all right, either JUCO players are able to play and those years not count, or they will. And Haggerty will be responsible for it. Like, it's the weight of the decision. I don't think it's unfair that it's a tough decision. And we should feel sorry for him because he's making a tough decision. It's like, man, woo, bro, if you go against this, you're the guy that, forced Joey Aguilar not to be able to play. And if you go with it, you are the guy that opened up Pandora's box to allow, college JUCO players to play without it counting. But again, he signed up to do this because he's a judge, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Go either way. I don't know. You'll hear different opinions, and people have different feelings about how it's going to go. We'll find out sometime soon, as Joey is also planning to go to the NFL Draft Combine. Either way, it appears. I guess if he gets an unfavorable ruling, it's not necessarily either way. He's probably just preparing for the NFL Draft. But even if he gets a favorable ruling, according to Chris Lowe's report, Aguilar plans to go for about 48 hours to the Combine, because he could lose on appeal or something like that. So still keeping his options open for the NFL if it does not work out at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, and I want Joey Aguilar to get the extra year. I want him to get it. I do.
How often do you get athletes who are still enrolled in school with the intention of playing for a college at the Combine? That's got to be rare.
Times are different, Josh. Times are different, man. You just kind of roll with the punches and stop allowing yourself to be surprised when you hear something new in college sports. Like, what? A dude that was at Kentucky that left to play for all these professional teams. He's ready to find some work, but it doesn't mean like getting a 9-to-5. It means like actually come back to college. What? Oh, that's nothing new. Whatever. So, like Bediako was mind-blowing. But this is not even mind-blowing because we already did the mind-blowing thing with Bediako already. So nothing surprises you anymore. We've become numb. So nothing surprises you. I guess I'll be surprised when like a high school player announces his commitment to a school without drama and all the attention and just says, yeah, I just want to play basketball. Dude, that would be surprising. You know what? I just want to play football. That's all I care about. That'll be surprising at this point.
So would you be surprised by this? Rod in Athens texted, will the judge go full recruiting drama? 2 hats, picks up an NCAA hat, looks at it, throws it down.
I would not be surprised if that happens. Nothing surprises me. I'm not going to let myself be surprised with anything that happens in college athletics anymore. I'm not going to let it happen. So
I would like to see that.
I would like to see that too. But I doubt it. But he's in a tough spot, man. I mean, it's not an easy decision at all.
Hey, if that's going to happen, let's get over there and stream that live, get some impressions on our social media account.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that, man. Do an emergency show.
Yeah. In the college sports world, there was controversy yesterday. Shannon Terry had his list of most viewed content creators in college sports, but people were left off. People got upset, had to redo the list. It was a whole thing yesterday.
I saw it, and you know what I did? I kept scrolling.
I'm moving.
I kept scrolling, man. I just could not allow myself to put energy into it.
Yeah, that's probably the right move.
It felt like some high school, middle school drama.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it going. It's like when you see a wreck on the side of the road. You're like, okay, I'm gonna glance at it, but I'm not gonna spend too much time looking at it because I have to look ahead myself before I wreck.
Yeah, you don't want to be the next one that's getting looked at.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Anyways.
TJ asked in the text box, has there been an announcement of when a decision will be announced? We just know that based on wording last Friday, it'll come in short order. So no, there is nothing.
He should announce, the judge should announce his announcement time like a recruit.
Yeah.
Like, announcement, I'm going to release my top 10 schools March the 1st. So Judge,
Respect my decision.
respect my decision. That's what he should do.
This is Josh and Swain. We appreciate and respect you for being with us here. 865-656-9900. We'll talk more Tennessee basketball. The men's team getting ready for Oklahoma tonight. Lady Vols could have had a better night last night. We'll cover it all this afternoon. And again, invite you to be part of it at 865-656-9900. We are presented by Junk Beyond on Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us on Josh and Swain. 865-656-9900 to be part of the show. Tennessee men's basketball team will host Oklahoma tonight at 7 o'clock. Vol Network coverage will begin at 6:30. You can watch the game on ESPN2. Tennessee against Oklahoma with a 7 o'clock tip-off. Swain, last night the Lady Vols suffered another tough loss. They lost 94-81 to Ole Miss. Another frustrating game for Tennessee fans to check out.
Josh?
Jason.
It's hard to watch us play basketball. It's hard to sit there and watch the Lady Vols lose by 20 points consistently. It's hard to watch us appear like we don't have an idea of what we're doing offensively or defensively. This will be the second game where you got blown out. And then there's a different conversation about what was said or done after the game. Last night, people were talking about the handshake or the flyby, Coach Yo, Ole Miss's coach, and Kim Caldwell, where Coach Yo was like laughing. And listen, man, you lose the game, you're not happy about it. I get it. You had those pleasantries before the game, and who knows the history between those two coaches. I've never been someone that likes coaches to be all buddy-buddy and stuff like that. There's a level of respect you got to have and sportsmanship you got to have. But I did see, Kim Caldwell and Kelly Harper, yucking it up and chit-chatting before the game, which was good to see. But the point is, like, this is the second game where Tennessee is a highlight of criticism outside of just the basketball game. And it's not great, Josh. It ain't great at all, man. Like, it's embarrassing to watch us play. It's hard to watch us play. I mean, even in the game against Texas where we play hard, it's still a hard watch because, like, what are we doing offensively? What are we doing defensively? The identity sometimes gets confused. I can only imagine what it's like for former Lady Vol players that played here and had to hear comments about team quitting and then watching the team continually go out here and get beat by 20 or 30 points. Like, there's nothing you can say to make this better. Like, everybody's probably uncomfortable about saying this because the Lady Vol programs, they just don't get criticized like the men's team. They just don't. But I've always felt like, because I have a level of respect for them that's equal to the men's team, I'm going to criticize them the same. It's unacceptable of what we're having to see. It is embarrassing to the Lady Vols who played here before this group of ladies. And the fact that Kim Caldwell is looking for leadership and there's older players on this team, they should be doubly embarrassed. I mean, they should be ashamed of themselves. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say, Josh, or how else to say it. To try to soften the blow last night was embarrassing. You knew what Cody McMahon was going to do. You beat her when she was at Ohio State last year. And she dropped down there 40 points on your head. Like, where's the pride? You had a player almost drop 40 points on you. Wow.
So we'll see how things finish up for the Lady Vols. They have 4 games to go here in the regular season, and they had a great start in SEC play, but they faced some better teams here, I think, overall in the last few weeks. One non-conference, of course, in UConn. But it's been ugly the last couple of weeks, and they have a couple of weeks to figure it out before the postseason.
Yeah, it's been ugly for sure. Yeah,
But I'm sensing frustration from fans coming out pretty quickly here.
and listen, fans are not wrong, and their frustration and their criticism. So, I'm not going to sit here and call for people's jobs, but I will say what we're seeing is unacceptable, and you can't like this is something that's going on that if you're a coach, you can't blame players, and if you're players, you can't just blame the coach. This is all y'all. All y'all are not doing the job properly. Because there's never an excuse for those type of performances on a consistent basis like we've seen in the last 2 weeks. And on any planet, Tennessee losing by 20, 30, 40, 20 points is acceptable. Period. It's not acceptable. It's just that simple. So there's no reason to look for excuses. Well, she's in a second year. Well, it's the players. Well, no, there's no excuse. It's unacceptable. Period. Point blank. And everyone knows it. So let's not deny it. We know it's unacceptable.
Yeah, denying it would be embarrassing.
Correct.
You can't have both an incredibly high standard, fall short of it, obviously, and then deny what's going on.
If you're an older player in this team, again, you ought to be embarrassed. Because I would be if I was a veteran player. And my coach has publicly called for leadership. She all but is saying your name publicly.
So the Lady Vols will return home to take on Texas A&M tomorrow, and then this weekend go to Oklahoma, which is one game behind Tennessee in the SEC standings, but a good Oklahoma team that they will take on. And along with that, the Lady Vols still have to go to LSU. That obviously will be a really tough game. And then we'll finish up at home against Vanderbilt on March 1st. So those are the 4 games remaining. Home against A&M, at Oklahoma, at LSU, home for Vanderbilt after consecutive losses to Texas this past weekend and Ole Miss last night.
Vanderbilt is going to try to run you out your own gym.
That'll be their goal, yeah.
Like LSU, they might beat you. Vanderbilt is going to try to embarrass you. Embarrass you. This is a team that beat Texas by 20-plus points. So, better figure it out.
865-656-9900 if you would like to join us. 90 minutes to go. Tennessee's men's team at home tonight against Oklahoma. We'll continue to monitor Joey Aguilar's situation, his case, as he waits on a ruling from Chris Haggerty, also prepares for the NFL Draft Combine coming up next week. We'll come back. Again, 90 minutes to go. We're presented by Junk Be Gone on Josh and Swain. of the WNML app. And while we're live on YouTube, the Sports Animal YouTube channel, we'd love for you to subscribe. You can also watch our video feed in the WNML app. Thank you again for being with us. Thanks for the interaction. We'll open up the phone lines, the text box as well at 865-656-9900. Appreciate this message from George, and it may play out this way. George sent us a message and said the NJCAA is a different organization than the NCAA, referring to the National Junior College Association, which has been brought up. And he also noted the federal court in New Jersey found that the 5-year rule likely violated antitrust laws. Based on this, Joey is eligible to play one more season. And again, maybe that turns out to be the case. I believe, George, and if you're listening and still listening and are referring to something else, let us know. But I believe you're referring to the Jet Elad case, which has gone on in New Jersey. He's a football player at Rutgers. He spent 3 seasons in NCAA schools, one at Garden City Community College, well-known JUCO program. And last spring, he was successful with a federal judge granting him an injunction, ruling Elad was likely to succeed on the merits. But the NCAA appealed, and a Third Circuit panel in late November vacated the lower court's ruling, sending the case back to federal court. So in that case, the judge did not reject the merits of Elad's argument. Instead, the judge argued that the lower court failed to define what relevant market Elad was being restricted from due to the JUCO rule. So I could be reading it wrong. My takeaway is they're still trying to make a decision there as well, unless there's been new information that's come out that I've missed. But that was in late November, the latest update there, after success last spring getting the injunction, and then in November having that sent back. So, and by the way, what my opinion is could very well be different from the legal opinion. That's why getting some things figured out is very important for the future of college sports. So let's say hello to Randy on Josh and Swain. Hey, Randy, thank you for calling in. Good afternoon. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, I was just going to think, I really don't think the judge is in a tight spot. I think if the judge rules Joey eligible, then it's going to move this process faster and get it fixed. If he rules him ineligible, then someone else is going to try, someone else is going to try. And they touched on this yesterday a little bit with Tyler and Will, afterwards. Until collective bargaining happens, this is the way to get collective bargaining to happen, is go ahead and rule them eligible. Let them all play, and then we get it fixed. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, as far as tough spot, my meeting was, there's this narrative, especially when you look at Ole Miss and how Trinidad Chandler's case went, where he signed an autographs and the judge was emotional. I mean, folks would just automatically assume that Joey's going to be able to play, and that the judge is just a Tennessee fan, and he's not going to do his job properly. And so there's that pressure from the outside with the judge. That's what I was referring to more than anything else.
Right.
Yeah, but part of that depends on what his opinion is, Randy. If the judge's opinion is that the NCAA is right and Aguilar is wrong, I don't think he should rule in favor of Aguilar against his own ruling. But again, that depends on what he's thinking in this case too.
Right. And I understand that. So it's really a situation that I believe he should get another year. I hope he does. And but the college football system or the college athletics has got to be fixed. And I don't know that it gets fixed if we continue down the road just putting in the hands of individual judges in different communities. Thanks for the time, guys.
Yeah.
I love the show.
Thank
you, Randy. Really appreciate it. Yes, Wayne, as we've discussed, there are different opinions. Randy's opinion is different from mine. His opinion is just as valuable as mine, though, and there are good points on the other side, too. I have stated my case on the side of I don't think that you should be able to use junior college as a developmental area without it counting against your eligibility. You brought up the academic side as well. It is odd to me that the academics would count toward your progression, but the athletic side would not. But that doesn't mean it's not complicated either. And if I'm Joey, I offer no fault to Joey. He has an opportunity to make millions of dollars if he's granted another season of eligibility. If I were in his position, I'm sure I would be pursuing that as well. But that's a reminder. This is about money. It's not about athletic and academic development. It's about a chance to make more money. And the rule changes with name, image, likeness, and the ability to pay players are why every athlete, understandably, that has an opportunity to make money has pursued those opportunities. It's why Zakai Ziegler sought a 5th year, because he can make a lot more money playing at the University of Tennessee for one more season than he could if he were going overseas, as he ended up doing.
Yeah, he's not wrong at all for trying to do what he's doing, and that's play another year of football for over $2 million. And I understand why these pro basketball players are trying to come back, because there's money in it. I mean, it's more. If you can play basketball anywhere, but you can make more money in these two places, which would be NBA or college, you want to put yourself in a position to do that. And the same for football. You got an opportunity to make more money than what you would make in any job coming out of college that's not the NFL. You should explore every opportunity to be able to play an extra year at a place like Tennessee that is going to pay their players a lot of money. So I get it. That doesn't mean that I agree that he should be given an extra year. But I think, just on a personal level, as a Tennessee fan and as someone who's interviewed Joey Aguilar and, talked to him and been around him, I mean, I want him to be able to get that extra year. But if I didn't have a personal relationship with Joey, and I don't really, but if I didn't meet him and cheer for him and root for him, then I still would say he should get a year, but I wouldn't say I would want that player to get a year. With Joey, I do want him to get the year. Again, I just don't think he should.
To the point that's been made about the NCAA, that was brought up in the text box. So, if you're a JUCO athlete, you're under the NJCAA, which is not the NCAA. That's correct. But we've also seen, so in the Bediako case, it's been brought up, well, you have athletes playing overseas, they're playing pro basketball. So it's not apples to apples. But obviously, Ethan Berg, for example, he was playing in the Israeli Basketball Super League. That's obviously not under the NCAA. But because of the time that was spent there, he did not arrive here as a freshman. And there was a question of how many years of eligibility would be granted to him based on his time overseas. I don't know how they came to the conclusion, but Ethan arrived as a sophomore. So time spent in another country still ended up counting against him. That's obviously not under the NCAA jurisdiction, but he lost eligibility playing elsewhere in a different league.
He should be a freshman, right?
Based on the argument for Joey Aguilar, yes.
This is great, Josh. This is great. And
Are you not entertained?
I'm definitely entertained, but this segment, I was feeling bad because during the break, man, I think about growing up and how I used to get, whoopings to get those whoopings and spankings. I was told, this is going to hurt me more than it hurt you, and I never believed it. Well, last segment, I had to criticize the Lady Vols in the program, and it really hurt me more than it hurt them.
Yep.
It hurt me to have to say that and do that because so this segment, man, I'm all over the place, man. I thought yesterday's show was emotional. This segment is emotional for me right now.
Jimmy in Tampa, by the way, he texted in and he said, Jason, thank you regarding your comments and your criticism of the Lady Vols because of the expectation that should be there. Said it's on the coaches.
And the players.
Yep.
It's on all of them.
So, Josh, how do we get to hard rules and collective bargaining? Tell Danny White start texting his colleagues.
Well, they're his buddies, too.
I say that because he's been a proponent of collective bargaining and has been outspoken about it.
Hey, the more this thing is jacked up and seems to be way over the line, I guess the closer we are to seeing collective bargaining come to fruition. I did see some silly take yesterday about how Nick Saban needs to be the commissioner. Why does he need to be the commissioner? Has he ever been a commissioner before? any experience being a damn commissioner. We're not looking for a football coach to be a commissioner. We're looking for a commissioner, someone with experience commissioning. He doesn't have any. It's a terrible idea.
Well,
Well, what?
Know. Maybe Nick's been the commissioner of his fantasy football league.
Well, he should go be a commissioner of a fantasy football league. But this notion that Nick Saban should be the commissioner just because he was a good football coach, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Who would you go with? Maybe more a John Calipari?
No.
Mick Cronin?
It will be entertaining. It will be entertainment, that's for sure.
Mick Cronin's not going to just sit around and get pushed around. I'll tell you that much if he's the commissioner.
I want Mick Cronin next to Bruce Pearl, which is highly likely.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like next to Bruce Pearl analyzing the game, working for ESPN or something like that. I think he would be great on TV.
I totally agree with that. I would want Candace Parker on the set so I can see her facial expressions and react.
Correct. But yeah, I am entertained, Josh Ward. Mick Cronin.
Tell Jason Cronin Swain to calm down. We're told in the text box. What a time! What a time it is in college.
I am bald headed. I got my hair. Me and Mick got the same hairstyle.
You are, yeah. You guys are part of the BHC together.
I'm nicer than Mick Cronin though. He seems to be mean.
Yeah, I don't know Mick. I obviously know you. You come across as much nicer.
I'm way nicer than Mick
UCLA's
Cronin.
head basketball coach. Yeah.
I don't talk to reporters the way he talks to reporters.
No, you don't. Nope. You didn't
as a player,
and you haven't as a member of the new media.
New media, baby.
Yep, the last 20 years. 865-656-9900 to be part of the show. Thank you for being with us. We invite your calls and your texts as we continue. Austin Price in about 30 minutes. He'll join us from VolQuest at 2:15. We'll be with you until 3 on Josh and Swain. Back on Josh and Swain, presented by Junk Be Gone. Yesterday, Swain picked up the nickname Simple Swain. Simple man. Wants Tennessee to win, Tennessee to succeed, Tennessee athletes to go on and have success after UT. Today, compared to Mick Cronin, Matt asked in the text box, did Swain just raise his voice at you, Josh? Can't we all just get along, Swain? Eight 656 Let's say hello to Jerry. Jerry, good afternoon. You're on Josh and Swain. What's on your mind today?
I just want to speak up for Swain. I appreciate you telling it like it is about the Lady Vols. Had season tickets for 25 years, and this has probably been one of the hardest seasons I've tried to watch. And I do appreciate Swain, what you said. There's one other host on one of the other shows. He also played football at UT. You and him is the only one that actually comes out and tries to tell it like it is without getting in trouble, and I get that. I just want to give you a shout out that I appreciate you telling it like it is, but I want to know where the criticism was for this year's past football team that I saw. I've had season tickets for 35 years, and I saw some quit on the defensive side of the ball. And we were lucky we didn't lose two other games that we won very close that we should have lost. So I need a comment from you on the football team, and I'll hang up and listen to you. I appreciate you, Swain.
Well, thank you. Where did you feel like there should be more criticism? Which game?
He hopped off there, Swain.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was man, my C quit. I'll call out quit. I think we saw that Kentucky from Boo Carter. We saw it. I saw it in the Alabama game when their receivers caught the ball heading towards the end zone, and we chose not to engage in a collision at the goal line. I called it out then.
After Pavia's long run.
The
end zone with the Heisman pose. That's at the very end of the season.
Yep. When he was running and looking for people to come tackle him. I mean, I felt like I've called it out. It's not something I necessarily like to do or want to do, but I feel like it has to be done. And, you call out the good things and you got to call out the bad things. So if you don't do it, it's no different than when a college coach has scouts come into their program and they're asking a coach about a player's habits, work ethic, off the field stuff. You have to tell the truth, because if you don't tell the truth about that player, it hurts the next player.
Yeah.
And so, I feel like I take the same approach when it comes to commenting on the good things that happen and the bad things. Like, they're not going to believe you if you don't say the good things when it's good or say the bad things when it's bad. They're not going to believe you. So you got to be consistent. You got to be credible. And again, it's not necessarily something I like doing, because I love Tennessee and I love it when we go win, and it's easy to do the show when we're winning. But man, last night was embarrassing. It was just embarrassing. It's been embarrassing for the last couple of weeks. Like, I watched Lady Vol basketball because I'm conditioned to do it. But it's not enjoyable. It's like taking medicine. It's nasty. It hurts to watch us play basketball. It has been for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's not that bubble gum amoxicillin.
No, it's not that good. Not that good. But yeah, man, just. I ain't saying people.
By the way, I would say with the criticism you offer and the praise, but in this case, the criticism's harder to do. The way I hear your criticism is it's the exact way you would criticize if you were asked to step in with the players in the film room or the meeting room and address them.
Yeah, I mean, it's really out of love, honestly. And it is something I would tell my own kids. Like, I would say the same thing to my kids, and I would expect someone to do it to me. That's what I respect as an athlete is I want someone to tell me what it is. Don't sugarcoat it to me. You don't have to degrade me. You don't have to call me on my name, but you can tell me, yo, your effort was not acceptable. You have to do a better job. You got to catch the ball. You got to play harder. You got to block harder. You got to fight harder to get extra yards. Give me the truth, man. Tell me what I need to know. Don't blow smoke up my butt.
You were that way with my dad jokes. If you think they're worth a laugh, maybe sometimes you sugarcoat to be nice. How about this? Swain, why do trees get along so well?
This sounds like it's gonna be a good one. What you got?
Because they always root for each other.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it had potential. That's good, man. That's good.
I went out on a limb for that one. We'll come back. 1 hour to go on today's show. 865-656-9900 to join us on Josh and Swain. This is Josh and Swain. We begin hour number 3 of today's show, presented by Junk Beyond. Each and every day, junkbeyond.biz is their website. 5 hours away from tip-off between Tennessee and Oklahoma at the Food City Center, with 6 regular season games to go for Tennessee. They get ready for Oklahoma tonight ahead of a Vanderbilt road game for the Vols coming up on Saturday. Big opportunity here for Tennessee, Swain, to take care of what is they're a quality team. They're not a great team by any means, and they've had a tough season. But Oklahoma, they rank 26th in the country in offense. Defensively, they have struggled, but they beat Georgia and Vanderbilt in their last 2 games, and those are 2 tournament teams. So that is an example of why Tennessee needs to take Oklahoma seriously. J.P. Estrella listed as doubtful last night on the availability report. So not a guaranteed win for Tennessee, but one that Tennessee should win if it's able to play like it's capable.
I mean, it's a trap game. It's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing a team that is not that great, but you look at who they've beaten, and they've beaten teams that have beaten you. So, and they've beaten teams that have beaten teams that have beaten you. So they're capable of beating you if you don't come out and play well. And then you're losing one of your best 3 players currently. I mean, you look at over the last 5 games, J.P. Estrella has been one of Tennessee's best 3 players. Him and Bishop Boswell, you can put them at 3A and 3B, but Estrella's not going to be 100%. I know he's listed as doubtful, which means he's probably not going to play, but even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. So this smells upset. Now, the one thing that gives you confidence if you're a Tennessee fan is, I mean, Tennessee don't lose a lot of games at home. We ain't playing Kentucky this week, okay? So we normally win at home, and so you feel good about that. What are you laughing about?
Well, I think a lot of people felt that joke that you threw there in the middle.
It wasn't a joke, man. I'm sorry. This is the truth. We don't lose at home unless it's Kentucky recently.
Yeah, what's going on there? Because a lot of teams beat Kentucky. Now, Tennessee beat Kentucky in the NCAA tournament last year. That mattered more than the regular season, but it's odd.
It's psychological, man. That's what it is.
On both ends, Kentucky knows it can come back if down against Tennessee.
That's what it is, man. It's like, playing Florida in football. It's like playing Kentucky in football. It doesn't matter how great their year is or how bad our year is. We know that we're going to beat Kentucky. Kentucky feels that way about us in basketball, and Florida felt that way about us in football until we went down there to the swamp and drained that thing. That's what we did this past year.
So Tennessee against Oklahoma, 7 o'clock tonight. The Vols are, I think, 10.5-point favorites, roughly in that range, against the Sooners at home. We had this message both in the YouTube chat as well as the text box, and it's brought up from time to time. Last year, Diego Pavia's junior college year didn't count, correct? So why wouldn't the case same be for Joey Aguilar? So Joey got an extra year this past year. He was supposed to be done after the 24 season until Diego had challenged the rule. The senior class of 2024 that had spent time in junior college was granted a blanket waiver by the NCAA, with the injunction being granted. Diego played another season. Now, their timelines don't line up exactly right. Joey actually went to junior college before Diego, and Diego's case is still ongoing. It's just that Diego himself is moving on to the NFL. So Diego's name is on a lawsuit that Joey was a part of, and then a few weeks ago, Joey decided to remove his name from that suit to file locally in Knox County. So it's not exactly the same, but yes, Diego got an extra year, but that was based on a waiver granted while this case was going on, and several athletes benefited from that, including Joey Aguilar, including Miles Kitzelman. Miles is a former junior college athlete, and he thought 2024 was going to be his final season at Tennessee after he transferred from Alabama. Then that waiver was granted, and he took it. So he played one more season. Joey played two seasons of junior college. He also redshirted a year. So he was in junior college for 3 years. There was the 2020 year, but that season was canceled due to COVID. So, Diego got an extra year. So did Joey. He's seeking a second extra year in 2026.
Yeah, like Joey took an inch last year, This year he's trying to take a mile. So like last year was extra. This year's extra extra. Which hey, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, again, no fault. I don't. I'm not on Joey's side in terms of I think that the judge should rule against the NCAA and allow athletes to go to junior college and it not count against eligibility. But I don't fault Joey for seeking that opportunity.
Not one bit.
If he wins, if he gets to play another year, as long as he's smart with his money, he's essentially going to leave Tennessee set for life. He can map out his own path comfortably based on what he will have earned the last 2 seasons.
Heck
I don't
yeah.
fault him for seeking that opportunity at all.
Yep. Happy for him. He would deserve it. All the work that he put in, all the doubt that I'm sure that was around him, whether or not he could be a top tier collegiate,
quarterback.
The year where they didn't play football, the time where he contemplated walking away from the game, like it would have all been worth it. So I hope that he experiences that that feeling of hey man, like all the work that I put in, it was worth it. It was worth it for me and my family and my future family if he decides that that's something he wants for himself. I hope that he is able to do that. I really do. But not going to sit here and make it seem like that he's owed another year, because he's not. He's not owed another year.
Sent to us from the app, Josh asks Swain, what would Bears be without bees?
Should you be
Bears be without bees?
Is this appropriate for the radio, Josh?
Well, I don't know if you'll be happy or not that you heard the answer, but the answer is ears.
Huh? What?
Maybe more of a riddle than a dad joke, but bears without bees would be ears.
Okay. All right, I got you.
You had to think about it?
I got you.
Yeah. We will come back and you will hear from Austin Price of VolQuest.com. We will get him to tell us what will happen with Joey Aguilar versus the NCAA. We'll at least ask. When we come back, Austin Price joins us next to talk Tennessee football on Josh and Swain. This is Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us. We are presented by Junk Beyond. We're with you until 3 o'clock. And right now we go to the Stanley Fencing and Gates hotline. We say hello to Austin Price of VolQuest.com. He joins us weekly thanks to Colossal Productions. They can bring their massive mobile screens to your event. Go to colossalproductions.com. Hey, Austin, thank you for the time. As always, we continue to wait on a decision in the Joey Aguilar case versus the NCAA. Now that we're about 4 days removed from his hearing last Friday, what's your latest thought, feeling on what will happen next, what will come out of last Friday as you've had a few days to think about it?
I think ultimately you're just in wait and see mode, Josh, and you're waiting on Judge Haggerty to come up with his decision, to put it all down on paper. When will that happen? Only he knows, and I'm not sure at this point he does know. Everybody got the quick decision with Trinidad Chambliss, so thus everybody expected to get somewhat quick news with Joey Aguilar. But two different cases. Judge Haggerty, in talking to people that have litigated in his courtroom and so on and so forth, is more methodical and meticulous in his approach. He's not going to rush this thing. He didn't comment that he hoped to rule in short order, but what is short order? I would be shocked if we know at the end of this week, as we said here on Wednesday, and I would think next week would probably be the earliest we would hear from Judge Haggerty about this ruling.
What do you think this is like? I know we brought this up, but we're now a couple weeks in for George McIntyre and Faison Brandon. Or do they you think they go about their business, however it's going to play out, it's going to play out? But George, a month ago, probably thought it'd be the starter. Now is in the unknown. What do you think right now is they're in the waiting mode of what will happen?
I think George has to focus on George, and that includes getting bigger, faster, stronger with Coach Owings and the new nutritionist, and diving into all of that head first. Worry about what you can control. As the coaches always love to say, control the controllables. There's nothing about the Joey Aguilar case or situation that George McIntyre can control, so he doesn't need to worry about it. He just needs to focus on trying to be a better version of himself, putting on more weight, getting bigger, getting thicker, and obviously getting his arms a little bit stronger. His arms plenty strong enough, but I think you can always add to that. So just focus on yourself. No matter what happens with Joey Aguilar, George McIntyre and Faison Brandon will get all kinds of run during spring practice because Aguilar will not be cleared for the first part of it. May not be cleared for any of it, but he certainly won't be cleared for the first part of it. So that means it will be a lot of, Faison, a lot of George, a lot of Ryan Staub, and they'll get all kinds of opportunities, and they need to take advantage of it.
AP, Tennessee announced the new corners coach from Virginia Tech, 27-year veteran Derek Jones. Kind of walk us through how Tennessee was able to zero in on him and officially make him the corners coach, and kind of, who else were candidates in your opinion?
Well, we talked about this on the locker room Sunday night, Jason. I mean, he made the most sense. One of the great things about the defensive staff that Coach Knowles had put together, whether it was Andrew Jackson or Michael Hunter or Anthony Poindexter, they all had been in the system at one point or another and knew it. Derek Jones knew the system. And obviously there's probably been a few tweaks since he last coached with Coach Knowles, but he understands the overall scheme in general. And so it made sense to go that direction. I think that was important to Coach Knowles, was the ability to, again, help the install go quicker and faster, and Jones should allow that to happen.
Austin Price is with us, VolQuest.com. He joins us each week thanks to Colossal Productions. What do you hear early on about the newcomers on campus, be it transfers or freshmen that are on campus as they've gotten things going with Derek Owings in the new strength program?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all trying to put on more weight, the proper weight. And if you're a touch out of shape or touch sloppy, tone things up. And that's what you always try to do this time of year. I've heard really good things about defensive lineman Darrell Rivers. I've heard good things about Kedrick Golston. And, I think for Tennessee, it's about, just trying to bring those young players along, get them ready for the start of spring practice. and that way they can physically meet the demands of playing and practicing in this league.
Austin Price, VolQuest.com. What kind of visitors are you expecting in and around campus over the next couple of weeks, months? High school players, as junior days and unofficial visits are set up to get these guys on campus to take a look at Tennessee.
Yeah, there won't be any more junior days. It'll just be a lot of weekends that feel like junior days because Tennessee will be trying to bring in a ton of kids in the month of March and April on Saturdays. Look for them to really work the weekends hard to try to get as many prospects in town for those Saturday practices as possible. Just get them out there watching the coaches do their thing, watching the coaches coach. And with so much newness to the staff and so many new faces, I think being able to get some of these prospects in front of Coach Poindexter and Coach Jones and Coach Knowles and Coach Jackson and everybody is important. And so, again, not necessarily junior days, but just a lot of weekend visitors are expected. And it'll be a lot of in-state kids, some your high-profile out-of-state kids. But Tennessee's definitely going to be trying to get kids to campus as quickly as they can when things open back up.
Austin Price with us, VolQuest.com, joins us thanks to Colossal Productions. With the Joey Aguilar conversation, by the way, something you mentioned earlier, Austin, I think is worth really keeping in mind. You mentioned the judge himself may not know for sure. He obviously has to make a decision, but we've talked about it, what an unusual position he's in with his connection to the University of Tennessee. But somebody told us yesterday, you guys don't know anything, only the judge knows. And part of our reaction was he may not even know yet. It's quite a position that Chris Haggerty's in trying to make this decision.
Absolutely. It's why, there was a thread on our boards like Chris Lowe said, and I'm like, listen, I love Chris. I love Brent or me or whoever. And, they are, all of us are guessing at this point. We don't know for sure, what Judge Haggerty's going to do. Only he does, if he even knows that. And he had to get through 1,200 pages that they sent over and start looking at testimony and try to, he's going to have to, there's no really precedent for this. And he even mentioned, if I don't grant you the year, I do think you're owed something, but I'm not sure what that would be or how to give a monetary value to that. So if that's the case, you do wonder if he just says, okay, I can't determine the value of it. So here, I'm just going to give you your year and go play. Again, time will tell. I think it's probably next week before we hear anything. Don't think it will drag on as far as, spring practice or anything like that. I think he'll know something. Of course, he's going to go for the 48 hours up to Indianapolis to the combine and kind of see where things go from there.
Yeah, and sorry, would that mean granting another temporary restraining order until a final decision comes? What does that look like for the timeline if it's next week with the ruling? Or does that matter at this point because you've had the hearing?
I don't think it matters at this point.
Okay. All right, the waiting game continues. How many times per day do you get stopped and asked, hey, what's going to happen with Joey?
A few. It's not, it's not over the top because I think everybody understands you're just kind of in wait and see mode and see where things go.
Austin Price, VolQuest.com. Anything else to pay attention to on the Tennessee football front, Austin, either short-term or long-term that's on your radar right now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's about, everything's all about Derek Owings and the strength program right now, and he's kind of the head coach, so to speak. It's kind of his football team right now as we're in those winter months. And, and I think, him being able to instill some toughness, some physicality to the football team and get them in better shape, I think goes a long way to potentially them having more success this fall.
Oh, and one other thing. So Michael Hunter, he left to go to the Rams. I don't even know exactly where, but Darrell Sims' name had been linked to, maybe was it
Miami.
The Dolphins? But anything there, is that over? Oh, Miami Hurricanes. Okay. Anything there with Darrell Sims?
Don't believe so. I talked to him a couple of different times, and he's downplayed anything about that, and has downplayed it to multiple people that I've talked to. So at this point in time, obviously things can change, but as we said here on Wednesday, it feels like Tennessee will be able to keep their running backs coach.
Very good. Austin Price, VolQuest.com. You can read the work from Austin and his colleagues, see and hear the guys there as well with Tennessee basketball, Tennessee baseball well underway. Lady Vols with just a couple weeks to go in the regular season. VolQuest.com is the website. Austin, thanks for the time as always. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Austin Price joins us thanks to Colossal Productions. The website is colossalproductions.com. They can make your next event stand out, literally and figuratively. Colossal Productions delivers unforgettable experiences with massive mobile LED screens and an audio system at your location that can take your event to the next level. So any company event, gaming, watch party, whatever you're planning, go to colossalproductions.com. See how they can make your next event stand out. Great local team making this happen. Go to colossalproductions.com. Darrell Sims, Swain, I think you've been a fan of the work that he's done at Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a good job. I think if Tennessee's able to keep him in Knoxville, that's significant because you look at Miami, that's the best. That's probably the top 3 running back room in the country. What they're doing and how they continue to recruit the offensive line, the development of the offensive line. So you're going to get running backs who want to go to Miami and run behind that offensive line. So, I mean, let's understand that that's a good job there to be the running backs coach at Miami. Depending on what you're looking for. I mean, hey, if you're not really trying to live in Miami, then I get it. Or you want to compete for a championship, or if you want to coach good players. Again, every coach has their plus and weaknesses or plus and minuses and pros and cons about a job. But just from a sheer talent standpoint, that's a good opportunity. But at the on the other side of it, Darrell Sims has been in the thick of it with the recruitment of Gabriel Georges, the top tier running back from Baylor High School. So you got opportunity to have a really, really good running back room here in a couple months with arguably the best running back in the country coming in. So Darrell Sims is in a good place, and he's in a good place because of the work that he's done. He's done a good job here at Tennessee.
Yeah, and by the way, when I brought up the Dolphins, I had only seen Miami. As I mentioned, I didn't know where the rumor had come from. I must have thought that it was the Dolphins, not the Hurricanes, because we continue to see guys jumping from college to the NFL. One of the latest is Northern Illinois head coach Thomas Hammock is leaving for an administrative offensive assistant role with the Seahawks. So we saw a head coach in college jump to an administrative position with the Seahawks earlier today.
Yeah, I mean,
Michael Hunter obviously left Tennessee to go to the Rams.
Yeah, he's not the only one. Tiffin's University's head coach left too to go pursue NFL opportunities. So I get it. I get why these college coaches want to go to the NFL. Boston College head coach not too long ago went to NFL, went to the Packers, and now he's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. So I just get a kick out of it when you hear these college coaches talk about players leaving and quitting and finding other opportunities and and then they turn around and go to the NFL themselves. And that's what happened with the Northern Illinois head coach. Everyone's trying to look out for the best interest of themselves. Don't try to make them feel bad for doing so, because everybody's doing that, coaches and players. Everyone's looking out for their own best interest.
That's right. Which I understand, by the way.
Yep.
But we have to be careful with faulting others for doing the same thing. We did get this text from Matthew. I had the same judge for the adoption of my stepdaughter. He was very thorough. He was meticulous. I think I've said this on air, but I'll say again, I haven't heard one negative thing about Chris Haggerty. He's a local guy from here. We've talked about his connections to the University of Tennessee. I've not heard one negative thing about the judge in this case.
Well, I haven't either. And hey, that's what you want. You want fairness. You want him to, take his craft serious and go through all the details and make a ruling that he thinks is best for the sport and best for people that he thinks are important that's involved. It may not be best for Joey because playing and being able to earn income is probably best for Joey, but you just hope that the right decision is made.
We'll continue the conversation, 865-656-9900. Appreciate the interaction so far. We invite more of it in the next 30 minutes. We have an attaboy to hand out coming up as well. With Jason Swain, I'm Josh Ward, as we continue on Josh and Swain. This is Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us. Thanks, Austin Price, for joining us last segment. Joins us each week thanks to Colossal Productions. And if you missed any of the conversation, or just to repeat, Swain, we'll see what happens. Could be a ruling this week. Austin's thought was more likely next week we get a ruling on Joey Aguilar from Judge Chris Haggerty.
Got plenty of time until the season, my man. But I know people want to know, and I know for Josh Heupel, he wants to know. Joey wants to know. The quarterback's in that room, the players on his team. You want to know what you have to work with. But you can't rush the law, man.
Nathan, with a good point in the text box, says Swain needs to look at Joey's case from a legal view and not just the way things used to be. Hashtag old man Swain.
What's the legal view versus the way it used to be?
I don't know exactly. I mean, the law now, I guess, has to consider the ability to make money because of other decisions that have been made in court. But, look, I mean, you're not getting any younger, so that's just going to be tougher to do every day moving forward.
Listen, I don't have the energy to argue with a man about the situation. Again, I think when you go to college, junior college, and you go to class and you transfer to another school, those credits count. I just think it's hypocritical to sit here and say you can play football at junior college, but it doesn't count. That makes zero sense. So it's not about the way it used to be or anything like that. It just doesn't make any sense. It's college, and it should count. So that's kind of how I look at it. Not the way it used to be or anything like that. Just, hey man, it's college.
Yeah. I don't know how Judge Haggerty's going to look at it. By the way, this is an injunction hearing. I still don't know what's going to happen with the rules long term. I am seeing messages of, or hearing them, hey, maybe it's good for Joey to win so that this can create more chaos and push us to getting the move to collective bargaining.
Well, that's been my stance. You know, let's keep tearing this thing down, and
and if Tennessee benefits in the short term from the teardown, so be it. So I think maybe that's a fair point to consider if you're looking for the chaos angle.
Yeah, 100%. Man. More chaos means, I guess, better chances to get this thing fixed. 100%. Like that's one stance that I've taken as well. But just be ready. If Joey wins the case, it'd be great for Tennessee this next year. But just be ready to keep your mouth closed if one of our rivals does the same thing with one of their good players. And we got to play against that player. I don't want to hear no complaining. I want you to keep that same energy. So it's easy to sit here and go, hey, man, I want Joey to play because it's going to help my team. But would you feel the same way if Joey Aguilar hit the transfer portal and was trying to go to Georgia Tech or trying to go to Vanderbilt or trying to go to a school that was going to play against Tennessee? Would you feel the same way? If the answer is yes, then okay. But the answer is no. It's probably time to It's probably time to hush.
Yeah, if the answer is yes, then cool. And by the way, I respect everybody's opinion, seriously, on this. But there's no way that 100% of the people in favor of Joey getting one more year would all be in favor of him getting that year if he were seeking it at another school.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
And again, for those just tuning in, didn't hear me say this before, I want Joey to win the case because of his road in getting here and how he's carried himself. And I want him to be able to go out a winner instead of losing two out of his last two games here at Tennessee. I love his family. I love, his mom, his grandma, and how they were embraced by Vol Nation, and how appreciative they are of the opportunity. And I would love for them to be able to capitalize on that and get paid, and that take care of his family and be able to set him for the rest of his life. Like, I want that for him. But again, when you're asking me the question on whether or not he should be eligible to play, I'm removing my Tennessee hat. I'm putting someone else in that same position that did not play for Tennessee. Would I have the same opinion if this was an NC State player or a North Dakota player or a Colorado State player? And that's how I answer the question. And that's why I say, no, I think they should count. I think the JUCO year should count because it's college.
Yeah, Bill responded. Bill appreciates you. Get this response, and you're just trying to be difficult, if we're being honest here. But he said, so students that have college credits, that are able to get college credits when they're in high school, should have their eligibility cut short. The obvious difference is that when you're in high school, you're not a full-time college student competing in sports at the collegiate level.
High school? Yeah, high school, college is college.
We can see the obvious difference, right?
It's yeah.
Being able to pass through your foreign language to get a couple of extra credits, or testing up in math, not quite the same as attending a college on a full-time schedule to advance toward your college degree. There's a pretty obvious difference.
It's a big difference. Well,
yeah. And again, I recognize that if you're in junior college, you're under the NJCAA versus the NCAA. That's why I pointed out, well, there are some athletes that have been playing overseas while doing so, lost eligibility, like Ethan Berg, when they once they got to college. Ethan Berg arrived as a sophomore.
Yeah.
So he wasn't playing under the NCAA.
But he arrived as a sophomore.
Accepted that he gave up some of the eligibility playing overseas before he arrived in college.
Yeah.
So we've seen that happen.
Yeah, if it doesn't count, that means a player from high school can go to JUCO for 4 years and then go to Tennessee and be a freshman. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, Bob texted in, Swain, by your logic, part of high school would count against eligibility since there are classes you can take and get credit for in college. You're not taking a full schedule in high school. There is a difference. We can all recognize it. Yet junior college credits count toward your degree. You're taking a full schedule. You're in college. You're competing with college athletes. That's the difference.
That's my point. Again,
when you're rolling out of the cafeteria at your high school and you're going to football practice against 14-year-olds, that's a little bit different than competing against 20-year-olds at a junior college. Come on now. All right, we'll come back. Final segment. We appreciate the interaction. We're all waiting to see what will happen. We're all, in a way, guessing what will happen. We have one more segment to go. We have an attaboy to hand out. It'll be a good one in our final segment coming up. Every day presented by Junk Be Gone on Josh and Swain. This is Josh and Swain, final segment. I like this this counter from Eddie. We're going to hand out an attaboy in a moment, Swain.
What you got?
They don't report stats from junior college to the NCAA. It's inherently separate. Junior college players can't win the Heisman.
What? So what does that? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh.
Ilias Kamardine with Ole Miss. Last year he played in a professional league in France. This year he came to play at Ole Miss. You know what his classification is? No prior college seasons.
Freshman, right?
Oh no, he's a senior.
Huh?
It was pointed out junior college is amateur setting. These overseas basketball players are in a professional setting. Can't compare the two. I'm afraid the lines have been blurred at this point between.
Why not? Why can't you compare it? Why not?
The point in comparing the pro players is that they also are not under the NCAA umbrella. That's the point. Is it's brought up, well, junior college is not underneath the NCAA rules. Neither is playing basketball in France. But players in France or in Israel or anywhere else outside the U.S. have lost eligibility playing overseas before coming to college.
So basically, it's made. They just made it up.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's like, so how do we know this player is a senior? Did he complete his freshman, sophomore, and junior year? Well, we don't know. We're just going to make him a senior. Well, this player's a sophomore. Did he complete his freshman year? Well, we don't know. We just make him a sophomore.
You know what? Let's just do away with eligibility.
Yeah. Hey, play as long as you want to. Who cares about the high school kids coming up? Tell them just to quit their sport. Just quit.
Why is Bill out tonight? Well, he's 33, and his kid has a middle school recital tonight, so he's going to be there, and he will miss the game against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We might be close to that point. Hey, before we go, let's hand out today's attaboy.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy good.
Always remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself. Attaboy.
With one more reference to the Mick Cronin incident last night, though, if at any point this segment, Swain, or a prior segment, if I raised my voice, I do apologize.
Yeah, you better. You better.
Hey, how about this story with Elston Turner? You sent this to me this morning. Wynton Jackson shared it. Austin East basketball legend flew overnight from the NBA All-Star game to Knoxville as his alma mater named their basketball court after him. But what was also cool about that, because that in itself is worth an honor and an attaboy, seeing all of his classmates from 1977 there in the stands to be a part of him getting honored.
Yeah, 100%, man. Turner does a lot of great work in this Knoxville community, works with Emerald Youth, has for a while, always tries to give back and impact young people in Knoxville and East Knoxville specifically. So just attaboy to him. He's done so much work. It's really hard to lay out everything that he's done, but it's easy to lay out this because this is a pretty big deal, getting the name, the court named after him, and so many eyeballs on him because he just left the All-Star weekend and to come back to Knoxville to be recognized. But he's done so much great work over years and years and years in Knoxville. We probably could give him an attaboy once a year. Once every 6 months.
He deserves the honor. You can read the story that Wynton Jackson wrote at knoxnews.com on Elston Turner. Incredible career in the world of basketball and incredible impact he's made right here in this community. Great to see him honored. Great to see people supporting him in that honor there at Austin East. We hand out attaboys and attagirls every day. We've had the back and forth. We've had the arguments. They're all in good fun. Respect opinions on from every angle on what happens because we're waiting to see what will happen with Joey Aguilar, with junior college eligibility, with the future of college sports. So a genuine thank you for all the interaction today, and we will be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Swain likely still waiting on what will happen with Joey, so we'll continue the conversation there.
Get us an answer. Please. Just give us an answer so we don't have to do the what about. But if he did this, if she did this, then we can do this. Please get us an answer. Save us.
If Joey getting another year means we get one more year of Jason Swain wearing the number 1 on the field there at Neyland Stadium, then I will switch sides immediately. We'll see what happens with Tennessee and Oklahoma tonight. We'll react to it tomorrow, and whatever else happens in the next 21 hours, we will discuss. Thank you for being with us today. Joel Silverberg producing. Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow every day, presented by Dunk Beyond here on Josh and Swain.